Alright everybody, welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. Let's go ahead and see who this person is that's here to see us. Well, I don't know how necessary doing all this stuff here is.
Looks a little healthier than before.
Pardon the intrusion, my lord. Chancellor Warren urgently requests that you meet him at the Charred Barrel in Brackenbury. Is it about Caed Nua again? I don't know, my apologies, my lord. I am merely a messenger. Perception 15. You notice a bead of sweat trickle from the messenger's brow. Remind me who Chancellor Warren is. We know who that is. Legal arbiter for Earl Baderman, Lord of the Grasp. I believe you've made his acquaintance at the Ducal Palace. Why isn't the Chancellor meeting me at the palace? Perhaps the Chancellor is meeting with you in an unofficial capacity. It happens from time to time. Perception 16. The messenger stares at the ground, avoiding eye contact. I'll meet with the Chancellor when I can. The messenger bows and leaves. Meet Chancellor Warren in the Charred Barrel in Brackenbury. Okay. Let's do that.
Looks a little healthier than before.
Oh shit, I can't even remember now. Brackenbury. Alright, the library is completed. Craft Hall, Courier Shop, Artificers Hall, Chapel, Forum, Training Grounds. We'll do these cheap ones, I guess. Okay. Now, where was it? In the Charred Barrel. Hopefully we can sell stuff here as well.
How do you do?
Show me your menu. Yeah, okay. There we go. I guess really I don't want to sell anything in the party just right now, but These things are not worth a lot, I'll tell you that much. Keep all this. There we go. What brings you to Brackenbury? You sent a missive. Let's look around the room. You realize that the charred barrel has gone quiet, and turn to see the last of the patrons quickly disappearing through the front door. A moment later, a group of armed men and women stride into the tavern. Oh dear, the Chancellor quickly ducks behind the table. The woman leading the armed group lowers her cowl with one hand while keeping the other on a pistol tucked into her belt. You immediately recognize Gathman's captain. Now that the sheep have been herded from their pen, you and I can conduct business, unfortunate as it may be. I remember you. You were with Lord Gathman at the palace. Oh, godlike. And I you, she grins. The whole essence of a god thing tends to be easily remembered. I must say, you wear it well. What do you want? Well, I think you know. Lord Gathman has ordered your death. She forces a frown. A shame, really. I admire your exploits, even if only half of them are true. Sadly, I have my orders. Gathman will lose. You should work for me. The man is swine, albeit noble. Wealthy swine. Oh, the man is swine, albeit noble. Wealthy swine. Her lip curls in feigned disgust. Were I to do it again, I doubt I'd have taken in with him. But what's done is done. And Lord Gathman is as ruthless as he is arrogant. He'll go to great lengths to avenge a betrayal. What could you offer me to make me consider such a risk? A better life, serving an honorable lord. I've heard some stories about you. They can't all be true, can they? She's silent a moment. Tales of your charity, your kindness, but I also see strength in you. But is that enough to best Lord Gathman? That gamble is too rich for my blood. Still, I think I can tell Gathman that you didn't take the bait and never showed up here. I think I can tell Gathman that you didn't take the bait and never showed up here. No need for anyone to die today, eh? She looks to her troops and they nod in agreement. Know this. The day will soon come when you must face Gathman. I've lived this long by knowing which side to be on. Prove yourself on the battlefield, and who knows? Until we meet again. That was weird. Well, that was unexpected. Warren emerges from beneath his table and smooths the rumpled sleeve of his robe. It does make the strange reports I've received from the grasp make more sense in context, however. Go on. Earl Bedimir decided to keep an eye on Lord Gathman's activities. Gathman has been hiring a lot of men recently, but for what purpose, we can't say. I'd advise you to take extra precautions at Caed Nua. He may be attempting to place spies or saboteurs within your walls. Be wary. I don't think you've seen Lord Gathman's endgame yet. He swallows the rest of his ale and gives you a curt nod before heading for the door. Weird. Return to Caed Nua. Well, shit.
Better indeed.
Speak to the mob in front of your great hall at Caed Nua. I wouldn't pay, so they set my crops on fire. When my boy tried to stop him, they knocked him over the head. He's alive, but he can't think straight no more. Your boy got lucky. My guards, good both men, got put to the sword after they'd surrendered. I paid those thugs what they wanted, but they still took everything I had. There he is. A woman points at you, and all eyes in the crowd turn their hostile gazes upon you. What's going on here? We want justice. You've been terrorizing us, and we won't stand for it any longer. Go on. You sent your men to my farm to collect a crop tax, saying it was overdue. For me, it was all a road toll. I've been traveling up and down this way for years, and this was the first I've heard of such a thing. Other people in the crowd chime in with similar stories. What makes you think I sent those men? They said they were acting on orders from the Lord of Caed Nua. That's you. And those weren't my men. Then who were they? They weren't no common bandits. If this happens again, it's not on my orders. You heard it directly from me. Say we believe you. What about what we've lost? What about my crops? And my goods? And the families of the guards? We can give them money. We'll do one. Most generous of you, my lord. The villagers nod and smile at you, uttering thanks as you distribute the coins. Oh, that's it? I was gonna do all of them. Angry mobs. The inevitable thorn in every ruler's side, eh? What brings you to Caed Nua? I have news about Lord Gathman. Let's discuss it in the Great Hall, away from curious ears. Dang it, I was trying to give them all the money and then say that they'll face justice. But I guess you can only do one of them. I've received word that Lord Gathman is amassing an army of mercenaries near Yenwood Field. It appears a peaceful claim to Caed Nua is no longer possible. The Earl has sent me to aid you in forming your own force to counter this threat. I'm here in an advisory role only, of course. The Earl won't officially take sides in the dispute. Let's talk about my army. The Marshal nods. Where am I getting my troops? I've sent out a call for volunteers from the lands around Caed Nua. Hopefully people will realize that being under your rule is preferable to that of Lord Gathman's. Any hireling stationed at Caed Nua will also accompany you in the battle, so I suggest you acquire as many of them as possible. I received a missive from the Knights of the Crucible. They've heard about the situation and will send a squad of their finest knights when the time for battle comes. What's the status of my regular troops? The Marshal shakes his head. Too green and too few. If you go up against Lord Gathman now, losses will be heavy. However, victory is still possible. We need to recruit veteran troops. I know a company or two of veterans that would be willing to join us for a bit of coin. I'd say 10,000 coppers should cover the expensive. Let's do it. His eyes widen. It will be done. What special allies do I have available? The Knights of the Crucible will reinforce your infantry. That's all for now. Very well. If there's anything else you wish to know, please ask. Why won't the Earl officially legitimize my claim? It is a delicate situation. Legally, Lord Gathman's claim is just, and he knows it. Is just, and he knows it. Stripping land and title from a noble family is quite dangerous, perhaps more so than killing the man outright. With Gathman dead, the Earl only need worry about blood vengeance from family members that actually cared for Lord Gathman. Those, if court gossip is to be believed, are few and far between. Losing a family claim to land and title, though. Such disputes incite hatred from the entire clan and their political allies, not to mention the unease it causes amongst the other nobles. Wars are started for less. No, if Gathbin is to be denied, it would be you who must prove your legitimacy to the Earl and all others who would dispute your claims. This is what it means to be noble in the Deerwood. How much time do I have? Enough. It's rumored Lord Gathbin will suffer a series of unfortunate and completely unforeseeable setbacks before his army is complete. He grins and winks. Still, I'd not tarry long. I have a fortress with strong walls. Why not let Gathbin's army come to me? Lord Gathbin isn't fool enough to risk tearing down Caed Nua just to kill you. And if you shield yourself behind these walls, you'll have free reign to torment your subjects in the court side. Oh, he'll have free reign to torment your subjects in the court side. Earl Badermere will see your inaction against Lord Gathbin as a sign that you are unwilling to perform your duties as Lord of Caed Nua. Losing his support will have dire consequences. Taking the fight to Lord Gathbin is your only option. It is time, Marshal. Assemble the army and march to Yenwood Field. Let's do it. Excellent. Morale is high and the troops are eager to follow you to glory. Are you certain you wish to march? Yes, I'm sure. Give the order. As you command, I'll march the army to Yenwood Field. Will you be accompanying us? Yes, let's march. I don't know what's gonna happen, but let's do it. Hopefully this isn't like you have to be a certain... Ooh. As you crest a small hill overlooking Yenwood Field, Lord Gathbin's army is a flurry of activity, scurrying to and fro, even from this distance. You can hear the drums of war beating their steady cadence designed to intimidate their foes while organizing the rank and file into battle formations. Marshal Forwin approaches. You've arrived just in time. Lord Gathbin's forces are beginning to move. An attack is imminent. Inspect your forces. Local militia constitutes the majority of the army, but veteran soldiers have organized the ranks and walk amongst the young, unseasoned warriors, offering advice to the occasional joke. They cheer, striking sword to shield as you pass, in thunderous approval of their lord. Amongst the troops, a small group of warriors shine brighter than the others. Crucible knights standing tall in gleaming plate armor and armed with spear and shield. They stand at attention, spear centered as you pass. Any idea what Gathbin is planning? Marshal Forwin strokes his chin. His ultimate objective is to face you in battle and to be seen defeating you. I doubt he is foolish enough to challenge you to single combat, of course. Sound the horn, Marshal Forwin. It's time to finish this. Marshal Forwin begins barking orders, and your troops quickly form up. Gathbin's army follows suit as Adrian war drums echo across the field. Within a few moments, the Marshal raises a brass horn in the visage of a mighty boar to his lips. He looks at you expectantly. Who's the little dude standing next to us? For Caed Nua, send these Ardarin dogs to Bareth. Tonight the ravens will feast on our enemies while we drink and reveal inglorious victory. Raise your weapon above your head and scream at the top of your lungs. Let's do that one. Your troops battle across the field, pounding weapon to shield as the marshal's horn sounds. Dozens of bowstrings twang in unison behind you. As your archers unleash a hail of arrows at Gathbin's army, the missiles hiss through the air with deadly accuracy and felling scores of enemies. In a bold move, Gathbin points his sword towards your position, giving an unheard order. His infantry, shields raised, charge the field. Your infantry charges headlong onto the enemy infantry in the center of the field. The cacophonous sound of metal on metal is nearly deafening as the two forces collide. The fight is fierce, and the screams of the dying numerous, led by veteran warriors rallied to your cause. The troops fight valiantly and appear to be holding their ground. The battle thus far appears to be a stalemate. Then a group of Adrian battle mages emerge from behind the enemy lines. They begin weaving their hands in unison with practiced precision. Suddenly waves of arcane fire erupt among your troops. The acrid smell of smoke and burning flesh is nearly overwhelming. From the right flank, a unit of Ratai berserkers clad in plate armor and wielding great swords begins to collapse the left side of the line. The ground is thick with the dead as they press their advantage. Meanwhile, Bleak Walker paladins dressed in dark armor and carrying sword and shield stride back and forth behind Gathman's lines, rallying his warriors and exhorting them to fight harder. As the battle rages, Marshal Forthorn looks to you for orders. Take out the berserkers. We need to deal with those battle mages. The Bleak Walkers must die. Study the battlefield. Your troops fight bravely and your lines are holding for the moment. Gathman's army is slowly pushing you back and casualties are mounting. Defeat is likely. We need to deal with the battle mages. What's your plan? Send in the Crucible Knights. The Knights lock shields and drive forward in a wedge formation throughout the enemy lines. The formation allows them to penetrate the line quickly but leads to heavy losses. As they reach the battle mages, the formation falls apart. The battle mages cease their magical attack against your lines as the remaining knights put them to the sword. But you fear the maneuver has sealed a grisly fate for the last of the knights. As the battle rages, Marshal Forthorn looks to you for orders. Should we charge? Let's take out the berserkers, I guess. Marshal Forthorn shakes his head. We have no allies available to throw against them. Our only hope is to break through Gathman's line and kill him. Okay, then everyone on me. As the remainder of your forces charge, a horn sound in the distance. A new contingent of warriors crests a nearby hill as Gathman's reinforcements charge, heading headlong into the fray. His other troops cheer triumphantly. The new arrivals quickly join up with Gathman's army. You make out the form of Captain Emery leading the charge in her dark armor. She kills one of your troops with a well-aimed pistol shot before running another through with a gleaming rapier. She kills foe after foe, and at one point, with the dead piled around her, she seems to face you from across the battlefield and shrug. As the battle rages, your forces fight valiantly, pressing ever forward. Casualties on both sides are high and victory remains elusive for either side. Lord Gathman strides through the carnage, his elite guard accompanying him. We both knew it must come to this. Come now, it's time to put you down like the dog you are. Here I am, let's finish this. We'll salute Gathman with your weapon. Oh god. Whoa. I did not expect this. Wow, we earned a lot of money. Let's wait until this stuff finishes. Okay, it's done. Let me look at this really quick. I wonder if hiring all those people for that money was even worth it. Okay, so... War Dog, Captain Emery, Priest, Mercenary, Bleak Walker. I don't think we can kill all these guys. There's quite a bit. Do we control these guys? We can talk to them. There's Lord Gathman. Anybody else stand out? Oh, there's a battle mage over there. See what he has. What is this? I have no idea. Probably the battle mage. Oh, he got the thing got Emery down, so that's good. Where is he? There he is. I'm wondering if we outright kill... Where the hell did he go? Unless he already died. We already killed him, I think. Oh no, he's right here. Attracts a swarm of aggressive insects, causing pierce damage over time, reducing concentration of anyone in the area of effect. We already have one dude down, and he's about to go down. Oh shit. I'm not sure we can do this. I think we died. What's going on? I mean, there was no way we could do that. There's like 18 or 19 people still left. But I don't know what's going on right now. It seems weird. I wonder if there's a way to, like, do it from here. And to not have so many... not have to deal with so many people. Let's see. Leak walkers must die. Avoids an incoming arrow before answering. And how do you plan on doing that? Send in the Crucible Knights. Okay, so hold on. Berserkers, Crucible Knight. So we only have Crucible Knights. I think is the thing. Study the battlefield. We have no allies available. Okay. So we're supposed to, because I was just reading about if we can even do this right now. And we're supposed to have like ogres and archers. And I think that's supposed to make it so we don't have archers to deal with over here. We don't have battle mages because We got rid of the berserkers, but we need archers against the bleak walkers. Ogres against the battle mages, which there's still... Well, there's only one... No, there's two battle mages. Because the Crucible Knights got the berserkers. But let's see.
This ends here! Beyond the sea.
Okay. Here's Lord Gathben. Oh no, nothing. Where'd Lord Gathben go?
Come on.
What the hell? I swear Lord Gathben just had one sliver of health and now he has almost everything. Was I looking at someone else?
Something else!
Yeah, even with every single person on Gathbane, it does not seem like we can do it. Lynn is dead, but they still have all of these troops.
Faroon beyond seek.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. So, unfortunately, we can't do this because we don't have ogres or archers. I thought we got everybody we needed
As you
during
wish.
this. So how do I get ogres and archers? To fight Lord Gathman's forces, I'll need an army of my own. Marshal Forwin will assist me in the logistics of it all, coordinating things at the Great Hall in Caed Nua. He'll wait there until I command my army to march to Yenwood Field. My allies in the Knights of the Crucible will send some of their veteran knights to aid my infantry, assuming I remain in their good favor until the battle. I have no idea how to get other ones. Maybe I have to complete more of the main story. Because I just wasted a lot of freaking time doing that. Probably about 25 minutes.
Looks a little healthier than before.
Because again, with that many people still alive, there's no way.
Before I knew it, the Stelgar was on top of me, and I was face down in the dirt.
Arrow to the throat. That stops him.
What? No! I was spirit shifted, and she was in heat, so I aimed for the throat, but not with an arrow.
What? Oh wow, we actually haven't been in here.
Out with you! I already told you what... I'm sorry. I thought you were one of those ruffians.
Looks like someone's beaten us here.
How may I help you?
What happened to you?
I never saw their faces. Strange, hooded men asking about those ruins. Cleoban Relag. Most of the brigands who come through here asking about the ruins are looking for a few ancient trinkets. But these people knew the name, and they were in a hurry. They wanted to know where Cleoban Relag was. I tried to keep it from them, but I couldn't hold out forever. I don't know what they were up to, but it can't be good.
That does sound like the Laden Key, doesn't it? Is there something else I can help you with? Can you tell me where to find the ruins?
The Glanfathan tribe that guards the ruins will kill anyone who trespasses there. And they'll retaliate against us too, if history is any indication. We've had too many fortune seekers stir up trouble of late. If I'm to tell you, I'll need to know your reason for wanting to go.
So this is where I say go into the ruins and I'll kill you, and that's when you say, Heravius, I'm a watcher, and you're no match for all of us, and we've got a good reason for this, and then I give up trying to argue with you and leave you to dig your own trespasser's grave. And I'm only being half metaphoric. We sometimes make dear woodens dig your own grave before we kill you. When the kids hear about it's a fabulous turret. A dangerous plot is unfolding there, I've got to stop it.
If that's the case, then we may already have trouble headed our way. I'll have to take you at your word. You'll find Cleoban Relag here. Whatever trouble you find there, please end it quietly and try to stay out of the ruins.
Tell me more about Deerford. Folks here tend to keep to themselves, as they do in most towns, this deep in the Deerwood. They're suspicious of travelers, but with all the bright brigands and refugees moving through the area, who can blame them? This is a temple of Bareth. What can you tell me about Bareth? Bareth is the most universal of all the gods. It oversees portals and cycles of all kinds. even life and death itself. Under Barroth, an ending is merely a passing to another beginning. Barroth has many representations across time and across cultures. Around the Dyrwood, you'll commonly see it depicted as the Pallid Knight or the Usher. The Glenfathans, however, know it as Bunin I Enku and Enku I Buin. Tell me about the Pallid Knight. She's one of the youngest manifestations of Barroth, but a familiar one nonetheless. Stories describe her as a gaunt knight in black armor, with black eyes, black hair, and milk-pale skin. She demands an impossible toll from travelers who have tarried too long on her lord's road. Some challenge her only to slay themselves in the process. Who is the Usher? Kith have written stories, songs, and poems about the Usher for centuries. Sometimes he's folk, sometimes dwarf, and sometimes merely a walking skeleton. He never speaks, but he guides the way to death and the next life. He also creates the circumstances for the wayward to stumble into their own graves. I've never heard of Bumin I Enku and Enku I Bumin. It means life and death and life, respectively. You see them as two skeletal figures, one male and one female. Explorers have found them carved opposite one another in doorways, but I know of no particular legends that speak of them. Thanks for the information. Of course, Barroth was once more widely worshipped in this area, but it is a silent god. He smiles sadly. These days, people find themselves in need of clearer answers. Okay. So we have to go to where? Oh, here. Okay. Well, let's look around this town first. Or this village, as to say. What the hell? Ah, these are backers.
I'll stay out of sight. Quiet.
Just a mill?
You might find this interesting.
There we go. Peridot. See, that's the inn. We'll go there last.
Good day to you.
A portly smiling man stands behind a warped wooden counter polishing a buckler. He looks up. Haven't seen you before. Always glad to see a new face in town. Company's good for business and chatter's good for the soul. That's what I always say. Anyhow, what can I do for you? Show me what you have for sale. Oh, well, what's been going on in Deerford? Oh, we're a quiet little town. Not much happens here, especially not since the legacy hit. People realized they couldn't have babies and just stopped trying altogether. And that takes a lot of excitement out of the day-to-day, if you can believe it. Well, show me what we have for sale. Trying to get rid of a bunch of stuff in our inventory. Ah, this is for wizards only. Okay, can I get out of this? You're a wizard, Harry. Whoops. Okay, so we don't need to go to the inn last since we just went and sold everything in there.
So, Alaf, have you ever woken up to find your other half used your body during the night?
I don't think I understand you. And I'm not sure I want to.
Well, I've found that if I go to sleep hungry enough, I wake up covered in blood and delightfully full.
This woman looks briefly through you, as if she doesn't know you're there. This middle-aged peasant woman is dressed in a brown leather cloth, draped down to her knees. Her hands are working at separating stringy, colorless vegetables in a pile before her, stripping the heads off the long fibrous stems with a paring knife. She discards the stems one by one, placing the heads of the vegetables into a small cradle-like basket in front of her. She doesn't greet you as you approach. You are not sure she even knows you're there. Excuse me? The woman doesn't respond. She keeps stripping the heads from the vegetables with a steady rhythm. She may be deaf. There's no indication she heard you. Study the woman. At first glance, she seems nothing more than a middle-aged woman, unremarkable, maybe less stern than most, who seems more focused on the weaving in the lap than her surroundings. Yet you suddenly notice she's not stripping the vegetables before her any longer. She's weaving, and the vegetable pots are now missing. She still pays you no mind, her brown locks torn and snagged from lack of washing like many of the townsfolk you've seen. There's a strange blur to her. Even the motions of her hands seem to be playing with threads that lack color, in a shape that lacks interest. It may be that she is half-minded or deaf, but something feels wrong as you watch her knitting takes on an odd cadence, and you have a terrible suspicion that something lurks beneath what your eyes are showing you, focused on the woman. Her brown hair is long, almost impossibly to the length of her hands. As you follow the streams of her locks downwards, the hairs become long and black, splitting off into threads of black and silver, and wrapping around her hands. She is forming a soul cradle with threads, braiding a net in front of you, each finger long and sharp, like a series of knitting needles, almost hypnotic. The silver and black strands of her hair weave together, with silver predominating as a highlight, the black shadowing it. And suddenly you are calm. You are on a plateau, almost the height of a tower, several stories high. The plateau is like a table, lying beneath a clear sky. And beneath the plateau, surrounding it in all directions, a forest, hazy with mist. Although whether it is actual mist, or distance, or recollection, resting in the curve of a natural arc. Above you is a great copper bell, half again the size of a man, hanging at attention as if looking down on you and the event unfolding before you. The plateau has soaked in the sun, and the rock beneath you is rough and warm. The sky forms a cradle around you. You feel different, not disembodied, but you feel your body. Your physical contours have changed along with the surroundings. And you hear a soft series of chimes, like wind chimes. At the sound, the scene gains color and texture, as if the sound is beckoning you gently forth, filling your senses and thoughts, like mist roiling softly into a sealed chamber. And focus on the chimes. The chime coaxes you deeper into the memory, and you're certain it is a memory, a warm one. You are on the stone of the plateau, your knees on the warm texture of the ground, silver, white, shimmering like Adra. The plateau is formed of it, glistening in the sun. You can feel the heat on your skin, your wrists, and your hands. Your hands are in motion, weaving not thread, but gathering, tenderly moving along the first movements of Bareth's wheel. Your hands are wet. Your hands are upon the flesh of a newborn child, and you can feel the crowning of a tiny head, turning in your grip, its head slick wet from the womb. Jesus Christ. The hands you are wearing, inhabiting, have done this many times, and they are practiced and confident. You can feel distant pains in your own head as the head emerges, a stream of fluid from the womb, helping the newborn slide forth, and a woman's labored breathing, crying out. Focus on the child, the movement of your hands. As your hands move, you hear the sound of chimes, clear, cutting through the haze of memory. You cannot see where they are coming from, but they are close, and they are meant as a comfort. Of that you are certain. Draw the child forth. And coaxed by your hands, every movement causing the chimes to sound again, almost eagerly, the child comes forth, and as it does, your hands are in motion, weaving, moving along the length of a soft, wet rope. No, an umbilical cord from the legs of the naked woman before you. You are holding a small child, still wet from the womb before you. The child cries out, its cry full of life, full of soul, the ringing of chimes echoing in its thoughts, filling it with its welcome. The soul is blurred at the edges, as if you are viewing a soul from within a soul. But it is there, it is alive. The woman before you is weeping, and at her first cry, her hands reach out for it. Surrender the child. You surrender the child to her, something you have done many times before, and as your hands move, the chimes echo the movement, and you realize the chimes are hanging from cords on your wrists, and where once they echoed in the memory, they are now echoing in the child's mind as well. The chimes are intended to welcome the child to be its first, gentle greetings from the world, a soothing sound guided by the tender motions of your wrists. You are helping to weave its thoughts, its perceptions, and the experience. The The woman laughs with a ragged joy, laughing from a parched throat. Her emotions seem soothed, but the physical demands of labor have left her exhausted. But the child is here. The child is safe. And all atop the plateau is peaceful, calm, distant, flattening out as the memory persists. Slowly pull back, retreat from the memory. With effort, the scene bleeds of color, and your mind becomes your own. Again, there is no pull, no anchor, yet the sound of the chimes remains. As they existed in the memory, they sound here as well, and they are hanging from the woven braids on the wrists of the woman before you. Even as your head is spinning from the touch of her mind, the sound of the chimes on her wrist is sharp and clear, as if coaxing you back to the real world. The woman still sits before you, but she is nothing like what you first saw. She is wearing black shredded garments that drape over her form like streamers. Her hair is streaks of black and run through with silver. Her age is almost impossible to tell. She simply feels old, like a crumbled watchtower. As she lifts her head to face you, you see that her hair is draped across the front of her face like a veil. What you first saw of her was a mental glamour of some sort, unconscious, and you realize what you see is not what the world sees, and you are perhaps the first to see her true self. Still, you don't sense a threat in the realization. If anything, you feel a sense of relief from the figure. You can hear her thoughts, and she is glad at last to be seen. What did you do to me?
I am seen, but the eyes of others do not remember. You were the first to see me as I am, the call stripped aside.
There's a light touched on your mind, a caress, and her left hand mirrors the motion of the touch, reaching up to the air between you. You hear the chime on her wrist sound softly. Her hand moves as if pantomiming, resting on your cheek at a distance, and she speaks softly and slowly.
Your memories. A cadence of wheels on a caravan track. Fever. Questions by running water. Violence in a night's campfire. Arrows in the dark. And fleeing. Falling rock and cracking stone. And a storm. The storm. The storm that brushed you. Did its screaming wake you from your mind's cradle? Your memory of it is painful. Its cry is difficult to ignore. It's like a child. Many children crying out.
I encountered a Baowick, yes, and it did something to me. Her hand withdraws shyly, the chime sounding softly once again. The woman stands uncertainly, as if she has been sitting for some time, or is too weak to bear her own thought weight. You notice her cheekbones are tight, her face gaunt. Yet, while her stance is weak, she seems determined to stand before you.
You are able to see me.
You suddenly realize she doesn't seem to know what you saw when you looked at her. The image on the plateau, yet the image was so clear, so sharp. You're surprised she didn't feel you there.
To see me is a rare gift. A watcher's gift.
I've never been able to do that with a living person, except with you.
So many questions, thoughts, whirling like storm winds. That storm still roars through you, deep beneath your thoughts, yet muted and secret, like an underground river. I cannot tell if it is carving new channels, or eroding what keeps your true strength buried. The fact that you could hear it at all, survive it, is something few have ever done. Your power will grow stronger with each soul you touch, as it allowed you to reach out to mine.
There is a silence, and although it seems to last for but a heartbeat, in your thoughts it stretches out between the two of you, like a pull between your minds. You blink, take a breath, and then you realize she wants to ask you a question, yet can't form the words, as if assembling them is painful, or there are simply not enough pieces. Assemble the thought. Do you wish to travel with me? You feel a wave of fear, gusted with the strength of relief, although oddly her expression does not change. Then fear dissipates, and you feel strength and certainty, as if the plateau from her memory lies beneath you, and a calm sky looks down upon you. Wow, okay. Let's dismiss Sagani
Farewell.
and take her.
Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed.
So she's a cipher. Focus, I don't know what that is. So literally everybody but my guy and Eater is magic.
Indeed.
What is it?
But Jesus, that was some freaking reading right there, wasn't it?
If secrets whisper here, I shall listen for them.
So now we have Grieving Mother with us. Potions for sale, so it's another person
How do you
selling
do?
stuff.
Hello.
How'd you get burned? Anything else I can do for you? I've got some handy omens if you're braving the roads anytime soon. She turns her face to the ground by the flame. How bad does it look? Just say it. I know you'll tell me straight. It's not that bad. I know a kind nothing when I hear it, but thanks. I've been keeping an eye on a drake's nest east of town. At Deerford Crossing. The beast stayed just long enough to lay a clutch and moved on. Thank the Sky Mother it wasn't a full-grown dragon. She looks at her bandaged arm and grimaces. Fresh eggs are much more useful than the ones that get passed between merchants or left in nests for weeks or more. And that clutch looked to be at its peak. Thought I'd see about getting an egg, but I didn't realize so many of them had already hatched, or that young worms were so territorial. What's so special about these eggs? They're one of the strongest tonics known to Keith. If you leave out Karok alone, of course. Not saying anyone should take that, but dragon eggs are known to make Kith bold, purposeful. Some even think they'll protect from Beowix. She shrugs. All I know is everyone's pining after potions made from dragon eggs. But the damn roads can't reach none of my supplies, so I'm stuck with whatever I can scrounge up in the wood. Deercap, River Reed, and the like. I could get an egg for you. She keeps her gaze steady, but you see hope kindling in her eyes and twitching at the corners of her mouth. I sure hope you're not leading me on. I don't think I could stand getting burned again. She bites her lip. If you really mean to go after it, I'd certainly pay you. Just remember, big as they are, dragon eggs are fragile, and there's a lot more I can do with a whole one. What's wrong with the roads? Noise of disgust rattles from her throat. Brigands, looters, you name it. The gods may be hollowing out our babies, but it's grown folk that's rubbing out the rest of us. People are scrambling to Defiance Bay because they hear there's healthy births there. And all those refugees in abandoned homes attract desperate sorts like flies on dog shit. Tell me again about the dragon egg. It's in a nest perched on a cliff. Okay, if you head out that way, be careful. It's crawling with worms. When I went out there, I can't imagine anyone. Okay, show me your wares. But I don't think we need anything. And can't really sell, so. Get a dragon
Can you
egg.
smell the oily notes of brain fat in the air? Cured leather always makes me so hungry.
You're a weird dude.
Good day to you.
A sturdy, broad-shouldered man wipes his hands on his slacks. He reeks of the same foul compound wafting from the vats, and his arms are stained with dye. Looking to purchase some leather. What's in the collapsed tower? It's collapsed. Nothing. He rolls his eyes and shrugs. A few hides on stretching racks and the tallow stench dinglers always grumbling about. The rest of the keep's dust, just like the fool Lady Thanu who tried to hold it. There's a bard at the inn who will tell you the whole blazing story if you want to hear it. Something else you need? And then he's also a merchant.
If secrets whisper here, I shall listen for them.
Stay out of my private quarters. That goes for you and Harnell's bootlickers.
The work of a moment.
Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed.
What are you, Effigy's eyes? Sabin stopping me raises the axe, rage in his eyes. Oh, I saved it for a reason. Oh, I just wanted to see what's in there.
So much for you!
Of course.
Final Journal of Jonas.
Yes.
Keeping an eye out.
I want to see if he's hiding anything down here. Whoa.
Hey.
These are wood beetles.
Need something?
Yes.
Can't get anything from them. This stained and ruffled bedroll appears to have been used recently.
Nice and quiet.
I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment.
Whoa.
Hey, that's not very helpful.
Need something? That's it!
Not even slowing it.
So much for you.
My thoughts will be as silent as my feet.
Well, let's go over here since there seems to be less. Or it's just another way out. Oh, nothing over here. Okay. Oh. Cultist. I'm kind of glad we killed that guy.
Well,
So much for you. So much for you.
Oh, hello.
No longer sense our merry friend.
Damn it.
What is it?
Quiet.
Let's keep going down here. The hell? Okay. Oh wow, she can't do anything.
Nice and quiet.
The D-Word Part 6. Oh, we read so much of that. Actually, oh, we have 2 of those? I guess we've read that before. That's weird.
Out of sight.
You might find this interesting.
Ooh. Gauntlets of Ogre Might.
Yes.
Oh wow, solid immediately. Alright, we got 2 cultists. I guess he's stunned or something, because again, I can't do anything with him. Goddamn, he must have
What is it? So much!
A man in bloody robes lies dead upon the table. A heavy crust of blood surrounds his mouth and eyes.
Yes.
Keeping an eye out.
What have we found?
Nice and quiet.
Well?
Nothing in that chest? Okay. They are all pretty hurt. Let's just rest.
Hey. Hi?
Okay. Ooh, quite a bit. Let's see, I need to figure out these guys' powers. Okay, that's good damage. Oh, okay. So he needs to kind of get in here. Oh, he's still down. Guys, get the hell out of his way.
On the hunt.
I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment.
Uh...
Well?
There we go. The path ends in a precipice. The remains of a ruined bridge lie on the other side of the chasm. Inspect the area. The darkness below continues as far as you can see. Broken stone pillars, remnants of the missing bridge, rise from the abyss. Across the gap, you think you see a long stone bridge. Wooden beams protrude from the stones on either side of the chasm. Despite their age, they look sturdy enough to hold a grappling hook and rope. The path ends in a precipice. The remains of a ruined bridge lie on the other. Oh. Toss your rope and grappling hook across the chasm. You aim for the beams on the opposite side of the chasm and hurl your grappling hook across the gap. It snags on one of the beams, digging into the wood as you pull. With a couple of firm tugs, you determine that the connection is secure. You tie the free end of the rope to the hook. Rope to one of the beams next to you. You have lost an item. The path ends in a precipice. Chasm, your rope stretches across the gap. Shimmy across the chasm. The rope remains taut under your weight, but you feel the tension and vibration of every movement as you shimmy across. The groans and creaks of the wooden beams echo in the abyss and keep your progress slow and steady. The sound of labored breathing echoes across the chasm. We're tiring. You reach the other side, safe but exhausted. Oh shit. Hey buddy. I mean, is it just you?
Mow it.
It is not. We got 3 more at least. Cultists, Mindbreaker, cultists, okay. But you go for the Mindbreaker.
Yes?
It's just stuck. There we go. Delayed reaction from the bear there, but
Let's sit our spoils down a while.
My thoughts will be as silent as my feet.
Fine. What is it? As you wish. Yeah, place has the stains of animancy on it.
I'll see what I can do.
wow. Requires 3. We only have 8.
The work of a moment.
Blood pool. As you approach the blood pool, the vicious liquid churns and bubbles. You feel essence rising to the surface, reaching out to you, whispering. Someone should clean that up. Some strange power seems to be animating the blood. I'm going to hazard a guess and say that whatever it isn't benevolent. A place of death, we should not linger here. A bubbling cauldron of Skane's hateful seed. He may be sniveling and cowardly in his ways, but he has never lacked for focus. Extend your soul to the blood pool. The faint whispers resolve into a cacophony of voices. You imagine yourself surrounded by 100 men and women. Their naked flesh is scourged and bloody, or skinned and covered with flies. Their eyes are missing, replaced by glittering black stones. The voices cry out in unison. What's this? Another soul come to rage and burn, or merely to watch? You may be a long time in waiting. Our work today is already finished. We don't have skein or lore 6. Cool. Who are you? A woman's voice replies, nobody's. Serfs and thralls and whores, used and thrown away. Almost all we had was taken from us, but what little remained we gave here. They hover at your soul's edge, feeling you out. Our fury burned within us, unquenched and unfed, but hate can be fashioned into a weapon by those willing to pay the price. Another voice speaks. In life, we were weak, but in death we made a choice. Choice carries power. What kind of power? A voice cackles. If you must ask, then you have never had need of revenge. They probe at your boundaries and of your soul, exploring your essence. It is a shame there is nothing in you we could use. The souls sink back into the pool. Hold. I would know what you've done here. The pool itself begins to ripple, with the sound of a dissonant chorus of perverse laughter that rakes at your ears. The lapping blood stirs a large metal cage, half submerged in the center of the pool, and it creaks loudly as it rocks back and forth on a rushed pulley, as if in answer to your question. Wait, let me ask you more about this place. The time for question is over, Watcher. The blood pool is still. That was weird. The man's arms are cut open from elbow to wrist. The crude symbol has been painted on this canvas in streaks of something that looks like blood. Oh shit. Blood congeals under this corpse's slashed throat. The corpse is bent forward as if watching her life's blood trickle away. So, we have 3 different ways.
I'll have it in no time.
Oh, we can't do that one. Can't do that one either.
And what does the flame reveal?
Thank God. Crypt Master's Key, okay. Oh shit.
My thoughts are scattered.
Grid
Hard to hold on
rounded
to.
up test subjects. God damn it.
What is it? As you wish. Look.
I shall deal.
So much for you. Bring them down.
I'll stay out of sight.
As you wish.
Okay, nothing much in here. Let's see.
You might find this interesting.
You kidding me?
Indeed.
What is it?
Hey.
Yeah?
Well?
What do you suppose? What do you suppose that bally thing is?
Shit.
Hey. Of course. Hey.
Guys, I told the bear to go over there. Okay.
Hi?
A fatigued mind.
Someone check on Alof!
What is it?
I'll stay out of sight.
As you wish.
Okay, so this seems to be another way to get over here.
Hey.
There we go. Just keep knocking them down.
Yes.
Because if we go... Ooh, there's this whole area here as well.
I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment.
You should see this.
The torture rack is spattered in blood and gouged by fingernails. Gross. Oh wow. Okay, it seems like that might be everybody over here. Because we've been all over here. Yeah, okay. Everybody in this section anyway. So, out of sneak mode.
Hey.
Oh,
A couple more than I thought. Damn it, they're all freaking. Oh no. There were two more in here. And this is one thing I can say that I do kind of hate about the game, is no matter what, you seem to get just stuck in these corridors right here, and there's no way around it, it seems. Like right now, Eater, he is just stuck right here. He can't get to these guys even though he could just go like this, but his character will not. You have to manually go like that. It's dumb. So now I have to refocus it on that guy. None of these guys here can move at all for some reason, I guess because my guy is here. It just doesn't make any sense why they can't move them out of their way if they need to. And I can't click on the bear half the time right now either. See, I still can't do it. The hell? Okay, so the charm thing did not work on him.
Lavaru beyond seeking!
Your thoughts?
Feeling the strength.
Damn it. Went down before he could pull that off. There's only 3 left though. But all of them have just about half health.
Lavaru beyond seeking!
Damn. They go down so quickly with magic. I'm surprised Durance isn't down.
What?
Oh god, he shot him.
So much for you!
Oh,
Let's sit our spoils down a while.
wow.
On the hunt.
I honestly didn't think I'd be able to do that. List of names. This creased sheet of paper contains a list of names. Some have been crossed off. 1. Edith. Leaves window open at night. Small house on the edge of Kindlevale. 2. Higuero. Visiting from old village. Doesn't speak Adrian. Keeps to himself. Won't be missed. 3 Tiefist lives in small encampment on road of Logholm, takes solitary walks each morning at sunrise, should be most vulnerable then. Bellemus, his parents leave him alone after temple services each Godanag. Sinless visits a mistress in Belreach every third full stag. Get him on the road. Check Gilded Vale and Oger's Gift, may find more interested parties there.
Of course. You should see this.
We have been out there, so there is no need. We've been through here. Can we rest? Thank you. You feel a presence hovering nearby. When you turn, you see the grieving mother observing you. Concern crinkles the corners of her eyes and seeps into your mind. You wear a call over your own. Watcher, I see you shrouded by old lies and unanswered questions. Can you see any details of my past lives? Yes, I felt them more and more of late. This is why we journey together. That one may draw strength from many, and that much may be mended by the purpose of one. As she peers at you, her brow seems creased with a new kind of anxiety. Your obscure past, does it trouble you? Yes, I don't know what's in there, and that troubles me. Take care, Watcher. Do not let the unknown chapters of your soul thwart your present endeavors. You may fortify your mind and find clarity in your purpose. She retreats from you, fading into the background. If you did not already know she was here, you suspect she wouldn't notice her at all. Weird. Okay, that's done. I think that's the last, like, small one. Okay, so there was... God, there's still plenty. Over here. Because this goes to anything that's over here.
Quiet.
This goes right here. There can't be much right here, can there?
You should see this.
God. Thank God. No.
You might find this interesting.
Of course. Frickin' bear's down. She's down. Both of them are at half. Am I able to load? No. Wow, the autosave was when we first got in here. Oh, this is ridiculous. I literally just rested.
Ah, thank you.
What? Yes.
God.
What is it? What? Yes.
There.
On the hunt.
Of course.
Oh God. Woman. A large bull-necked man in a hood helps a young elven woman down from a glass chamber connected to a dizzying array of cables and machinery. Her skin and clothing glisten with fresh blood.
You may feel a little lightheaded for the next hour or two, but that will pass. Have a meal and get some sleep when you return to town. The transfusion. The transfusion will be smoothest if you relax and rest. The implanted essence already has a hold on your mind, so fighting it will be useless. And I hope our new visitor does not complicate matters overly.
What's going on here?
Subversion. The black sheep cousin of justice. Or haven't you heard Lord Heron's tale of woe about a missing daughter and an impending marriage? He's sent his soldiers to scour the village while he bides his time at the Dracogen Inn. I don't expect you to understand what I'm doing. Neither the rituals of Scan nor the labors of Animancy meet with much approval in polite society. But unsightliness reminds polite society that there are limits. When no one pays attention to the excesses and debaucheries of a lord, you give them something they can't look away from.
What are you talking about?
Lord Heron's been telling everyone she's his daughter. He brought her all the way out here just to avoid anyone who might know differently. She's his niece, and she's carrying his child.
Okay. Such evil this crisis has wrought to force a child on the daughter of one's own blood, unthinkable. Why would he do that?
Heron's own wife's delivered nothing but Hollowborn. Now he's got no heir, and his sister's child, Elise, is reaching the age to marry. Without progeny of his own, Heron's legacy would pass to her issue. So, He found a way to continue his own noble line by putting his child in this girl, his own niece.
And Animancy is part of your plan to destroy him?
This isn't just about Heron to the girl. It's about the corrupting influences of power and wealth. How people of privilege, people like Heron, are so often insulated from the consequences of their actions. The charged essence of dozens of maltreated slaves and underlings is already taking root in her mind. Once it's established, it'll drive her to murder her uncle, her aunt, and anyone foolish enough to get in her way. People won't be able to look away from Heron's sins then.
Seems like a lot of trouble to go to when a simple lynch mob will do. They don't get a lot of things right, but this kind of thing they know what to do with.
I do not wish to destroy Nestor Heron. I wish to end his entire rotten line. His name will become a curse among strangers. The deeds of his house will be eclipsed by his ruin. Foes will hear his name and shudder with pity. And any relatives who should survive him will abandon their fortunes just to rid themselves of the association. You're hot-blooded, willful, but there is no room for mercy and vengeance.
Watcher, do not let this girl and her child become fodder for revenge. Let me touch her mind. I can free her from this snare, as well as from the memories that hold her captive. Do it. The grieving mother bows her head. Thank you, Watcher. You feel her reach out, persistent yet gentle. Elise does not move, but the grieving mother trembles with exertion, and the air around her rings with the sound of chimes. At last she collapses, her energy spent. The strain throbs in her mind. For just a moment, Elias' eyes close. When they open again, her expression is blank, but as she takes in the scene before her, you, woman, and the machinery in this strange dark room, her confusion turns to fear. She lets out a choked cry.
Kill them. All of them. If she can't destroy Heron, then we can destroy his legacy with her.
Well, I'm not sure I can kill these guys. We have... looks like... I don't know. Let's see what happens here. He's stuck. Oh, they've used something on him. Okay. Frickin' Aloth went down right before he could do it, and that's the thing I'm talking about. When this was a cutscene, but they all just swarmed it as soon as it was over. I couldn't move anybody anywhere because there's a pillar here. These two guys immediately hit two of my guys with paralyzed. It's like, what the hell are you supposed to do? He's down. He's down. She can't do anything. He's about to be down. I only have two guys up now. She's one of them who, again, can't do any. Oh, now she can. The bear's not gonna be able to kill this guy. This guy just healed everybody, so yeah, we're done.
Lava, beyond sea!
Beyond secret! O Ephyxiana!
And here's the thing. I don't understand what it's doing now. Everybody's dead, but it's not giving me the game over screen. Oh, all of their stuff has to go away. And it's gonna load me to when I first got in here, which was over an hour ago. Why is stuff still happening? And see, look, I have to load. 3:28 a.m. It's now 4:35 in the morning. That's an hour and 10 minutes almost. I'm gonna let it do its thing, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. If I have to load it all the way back, I don't know. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it though. Bye.